My name is Nontando. I'm the Executive Director at Afesis. And Afesis is a social justice organization whose work is really focused at strengthening local democracy, strengthening governance, accessibility of land, and really engaging social justice more broadly, but in as far as it relates to local governance and human settlements. I think of myself as a womanist. I am obviously a Black social justice activist. And I think I come into my work obviously quite conscious of who I am and the world within which I operate and exist. And so this Women's Month, one can't help but really just celebrate and be conscious of the strides that many women has made in giving us access, right? The doors they have opened that have brought us into positions of leadership and influence. The strides that women have made that have enlarged their territories wherever they might be, whether they are in the home, and whether they are in positions of leadership in the public service or in corporate South Africa, but really just recognizing how far we've come. But even in that vein of really celebrating who we are and what we've achieved and the doors we've opened and the glass ceilings we've broken through, one's also quite saddened by the reality of women in our country in particular. Gender-based violence, femicide, is a reality in South Africa, and a sad one. It's extremely sad that we as a people and as a nation have struggled to confront it in meaningful ways and to deal with it in meaningful ways. For a young woman living in an informal settlement in South Africa today, safety means something else. It means something so precious, but also so often unattainable. And I think that is a reality that creates a doom environment and creates a doom feeling as one celebrates Women's Month this year. So I'm asked, what has been one of the toughest challenges that I have faced as a woman in leadership in the social justice sector? I think first, let me just say I have been in leadership in the sector for almost 20 years now. And so I had come into the sector when the leadership of the social justice sector did not look like I do, or at least did not generally look like I do. It was not Black, it was not woman, as it is now. And so obviously one of the challenges that one is faced was a consciousness to keep the door open for others to come through, but not just to come through, to hold space for them, to mentor younger leaders, and to share my own journey and my lessons, the lessons that I've learned along the way with them, so that the pitfalls that I'd fallen into, they would not fall into them as well. But I think one of the challenges as well, for me in particular as a Black woman, was that of being asked constantly to prove one's worth, right? I mean, we increasingly see it now in not just in the social justice sector, but even in corporate South Africa, in public sector South Africa, that if you don't speak well English, Model C English, irrespective of how talented you might be, that society views value in very limited and in very box-fitting ways. And so I think the challenge that one is faced, which one continues to face, is that of shattering the sides of the boxes and coloring outside of the box. So the talent and value is not determined through the prism of colonial eyes. And so I think that is the challenge that remains for many of us who are in positions of leadership, that we're just conscious of, I think, those boxes that more often than not we're thrown into, and we are then forced to exist within. So quite conscious of that. And I think advice that I would give to younger women coming into positions of leadership in South Africa today is, one, be your authentic self. Know who you are and be your authentic self. And the second one is hold firm to your story. Your story is what South Africa needs. It is the rubric that colors our flags of diversity. And so hold firm to your story. But thirdly, keep the door open. There's many more others that need to step into the positions that we currently hold today. Thank you.